Hi, let's talk about the three wines I think should be on the RDI wine card. So first off, I went with the orange wine. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of orange wines on the card. So I went ahead and chose one that I personally love and also made a food pairing with yesterday. So we are with Coste Catalane IGP, L'Orange de Loup 2021 from Château de Loup. We're more precisely in Languedoc-Roussillon in the south of France. So we're going to have a very warm weather and also very warm temperatures, a lot of sunny days, which is going to influence a lot the grapes. Going to have grapes that are very ripened and a lot of flavors. So let's talk a little bit about the domain. It first started in 1998 with Séverine and Philippe Bourrier that bought the domain. At that time, they only had 30 hectares and 26 vines. They also had 4 trees of olives, which is kind of nice. And they actually work with a biological culture on their soil, which is very nice. And it's more interesting to be in the biological agriculture world with everything that's going on. So we love that. We're going to be with Muscat Alexandrie 100% for the grape variety. So we're going to have a grape variety that has a lot of flavor, a lot of aromas, and very interesting on the palate. So I thought it was really interesting to have this type of variety of grape as an orange wine. So we're going to have a skin maceration. So we're not going to have a lot of coloration on the wine. We're mostly on a golden yellow, I'd say, but not really on a orange color. We're also going to have for 3 months a cold maceration of the grapes, which is going to bring out a lot of flavors, a lot of aromas, a lot of freshness, and the fruit is just going to be more expressed when you're going to have this wine on your palate. And also going to be aged in amphora. So this is going to bring a slight flavor and aroma of smokiness, but very, very subtle. I'd say even more as if I could compare this to peaches that have been grilled on the barbecue, kind of, and have very dark grilling notes on them. So this has 13% of alcohol and also a highly surprising level of sugar. So we're going to have 5.5 grams per liter of sugar. This is surprising because we don't really taste as much the sugar on the palate, but we're going to find some nice roundness to it. Let's go on to the taste. So first off, for the color, we're going to have a golden yellow, medium. This wine is clear, it's very crystalline, it hits the light perfectly, very beautiful. This wine is amazing, it smells really nice. Actually, this wine has been opened yesterday, so maybe about 12 hours ago. And personally, I think it's even better because it has opened a lot more. When I opened it yesterday, maybe 2 minutes after or 3 minutes after, I felt like I was being kicked with fruit, way too much, way too intense. And now it's very subtle, it's very balanced, and everything just feels like a beautiful painting together at the nose, if that is clear for you to understand. So we're going to have something that is a lot of the fruit. So we're going to have a lot of peaches, very juicy peaches, juicy apricot, some papaya also. I also have some flowers. So I'm going to have some nice orange flowers and also some chamomile tea. I feel like this brings a little bit of evolution to it, but I still feel that it's pretty young. So I'd say this wine is complex. And it's on the way of evolution. It's getting a little bit more interesting, I think. And I think that also, if we would keep this on the side for a couple of years, it would come out very, very nice. Let's go to the palette. Wow, this is nice. This is very well balanced. We have something that is very dry. The acidity is, I'd say, medium. We don't have too much acidity in this wine. It's all rounded up by the amount of sugar, but we can't, it's not an off dry type of wine, but we do have a slight roundness that is brought by this 5.5 gram per liter of sugar. We're also going to have a slight tannin, which is due to the skin maceration. So we do have this slight tannin, but it's very, very subtle, but it just brings a nice structure to the wine, and it brings a little bit more of complexity to it, which is very nice. And it just doesn't make this wine only about fruit. It makes it about complexity, it makes it about structure, it makes it about acidity, about everything. So this is very nice. Also going to have the fruit that we have to the nose. Again, the peaches, the apricot. The papaya comes a lot on the palate, and I find that the papaya is the perfect amount of tropical fruit that you need, because it's more subtle as a tropical fruit, and it's not too much as we can find perhaps with lychee or with mango or all of these ones. They can be really intense on the palate for orange wine, but this is very subtle, very, very nice. And we do find this roundness that can go with a pairing with a lot of things. We can pair this with something that is a little bit more buttery, a little bit more creamy. For myself, yesterday I made a food pairing with this wine, and the food pairing that I chose was with some codfish croquettes, and with some leeks that were caramelized with some sugar and some honey. Also had some mustard seeds, caviar, and honestly, it just went perfectly together. And I also had a tartar sauce, homemade, and everything just fit very well. So this is a wine that can go with something that has a little bit of greasiness to it. Also with some fried fish or fried croquettes, could be really nice. So also for the price range, this wine is $29, and I think that it goes pretty well with the type of wine that this is. This is a very good wine, very honest, very well made. For someone that doesn't like natural wines, this is perfect, because you can't see the difference between a non-natural wine and this type of wine. So it's more droit. So this could go a lot with the type of clients that we find at the RDI that maybe don't want to go too far off and try something too different. So I think this could be really perfect for the clientele. And also, I saw that there was some meals that could go very well with this, as the root vegetable tartare with some apples, with some shallots, also with some nuts on there. The nuts would go and get this roundness to everything, so I thought that this could go really well with this. Also with the sturgeon that has some smoked Arran, it goes and get the amphora aging that we have in this wine that give it just slight smokiness to it. And also we have some cheese on the menu. I think that it could also go very well with some types of cheese that we have. So this wine is absolutely amazing. I think it could age a little bit. For sure, I would open this maybe like 30 minutes before serving it. That way it can breathe. It can go and get all the aromas and the flavors that it is supposed to have to be amazing. And also, I wouldn't serve this too cold. So I would serve this between, I'd say, 10 to 12 degrees because it's really better when it's not too cold. When it's too cold, you can't feel all of its complexity. So that is why this would be my top one on the 3 wines that I would put on the card. So stay tuned for the rest.